Nebraska loses 21-17 to Ohio State, one of the top teams in the nation, in a game that we all wrote off as a loss at the beginning of the season, and I'm sure the vast majority of Nebraska fans thought we were going to get absolutely demolished, and it turns out that that wasn't the case. It was a loss. It is a loss. Is that a moral victory? Doesn't that phrase piss you off? It was really close. I put it this way. The fact that Nebraska's defense went out and played this well against one of the best teams in the nation, I can't remember what they are in scoring, but it's over 40 points a game. We held them to, half that. And Ohio State's defense typically gives up I think it was 11 points a game, and we scored more than that. And I think those are both positives. Here's the thing. I don't know what to think about this game, but I know this. This game bodes well for the rest of the season. I'll just say it up front. All of the rest of our games are winnable. So if you're one of those people that says, we're just going to go 5-7, piss off with that shit. Take it a game at a time. I think today showed that Nebraska can hang with one of the better teams in the nation. We certainly can do that if we play this way the rest of the season. Having said that, oh my God, I get what we're doing on defense. I think we play well on defense. No idea what we're doing on offense. No idea. We got in the red zone the first time, and we didn't try to actually go toward the end zone on any of the plays we ran. We went sideways, which is why it took me 6 hours to get to my tree, because I kept walking sideways. What a horrible joke. I don't get the constant screens that were constantly blowing up, because it's like they know they're coming. And then look at the red zone trips. You get down there, you go sideways, you kick a field goal, suddenly we can have field goals, and we can have a 54-yard field goal? Did somebody take Ed Foley's coloring books away from him this week so he had to actually coach? Is that what happened? Maybe they can try that with Marcus Satterfield next week for the rest of the season. No coloring books for either of you guys. Pay attention to what actually is going on with your football team. How about that? Because the special teams, other than the beginning of the game, which was an absolute disaster, we got out of that by, getting the ball away to Ohio State with no problems, no punt block, and then we make them go 3 and out, and then, it didn't look so horrifying after that. Back to the red zone. It's like, honest to God, all of us have those things in our life that we're just psychologically terrified of, I think. Maybe a dog attacked you when you were a kid. I was dead once, that kind of shit. But Marcus Satterfield in approaching red zone, it's like his brain just goes into fart mode. And it was amazing that we scored 17 points. I mean, we had a defensive interception that was all the way, down to the 7 by Hartzog. And, my family, my rotten son and my wife are watching with me, and they both said, well, he didn't score, so we're not going to score. And then what do? We're in that red zone situation, and we went directly at the end zone, directly into the end zone, and we don't get it. We don't go on the other red zone drive, it's like go sideways, and then it's got go directly, maybe mix it up, maybe do a go directly, then go outside, then go maybe toward the end zone again, something different. Get mixed, the offense makes me absolutely insane. Because you get the idea that they really couldn't run the ball in the first half. And then the second half, they come out and they run the ball fairly well against a pretty tough Ohio State defense, or a decent. I imagine if you're a Buckeye fan watching this, you're probably going, oh my God, it's the end of the world. We barely beat this shitty team, Nebraska, who got clobbered by Indiana last week, and they didn't have a pulse, and they come into Columbus and they almost beat us. And we would have beaten you if it wouldn't have been for Dylan Raiola missing throws. And I think Dylan Raiola is a really good quarterback. I don't want to bag on him too much, but he isn't making some of the throws that could win us some of these games. The Illinois game, remember, he had that overthrow in the end zone. That cost us the game. I need to take a breath. Along with field goal kicking. In this game, we missed some some routes and plays that were set up well, and we just missed overthrows. And that's something that's correctable, I think, for him in the long term. So that bodes well in the future. Well, not if he keeps overthrowing, obviously, but it bodes well that we're getting those plays there. People are getting open. And then there's the whole rest of everything, which is a grab bag mix of poop. I really don't get the constant screenplay. Yes, I do. I get the constant screenplays. The constant screenplays is because they're fairly easy to execute in terms of getting the ball out without having to, eat a sack, but they're also kind of safe because they're quick and they're well timed most of the time. I mean, they're normally not ever incomplete, but they're always blown up. We've seen a few screenplays go for positive yardage this year, but today, they went downfield on that one Isaiah Nayer catch that wasn't ruled a catch, and that was a nice throw and nearly a shit ton gain, like 40 yards, and then they really didn't do that a lot again, not with success anyway. And let's go back for a moment. Well, number one, good job by, John Hull, the field goal kicker, to actually show that these weren't even like off to the side. They were like straight down the middle, even 54 yards. That was pretty amazing. A couple other things. The 2-minute offense. I played that college football 25 game, and the coaches on that don't actually start the 2-minute offense until it hits exactly 2 minutes. And I'm sure that's what Marcus Satterfield was thinking right at the end of the game, because they had to wait. They couldn't get one more play off before the 2-minute timeout. They had to wait till 2 minutes, and then they went into this 2-minute offense that I don't know what the hell they were doing. Again, there, more screen passes and sideways shit, but not down the field where it needed to be going. Go back to the thing I said about the rest of our games are winnable. Again, if you're one of those people that doesn't think so, go watch something else or wind something else or troll somewhere else. Maybe I'll just block you off my channels. But here's the thing. Ohio State had some deficiencies. They had some problems. Their left tackle, clearly they lost their starter. Toward the end of the game, they lost their second stringer and they were down to the third guy. This caused issues for them. And I'm sure the Ohio State fans are going to be going insane that they have depth all over the planet, but their left tackle, they only had apparently one. You have to recognize that all the teams that we're going to play from here on out, including us, we all have deficiencies. We all have problems. And winning in the next few games is going to be about whether or not we can overcome our problems and force our opponents into making more mistakes, or forcing our opponents to not overcome their weaknesses, and then you win those games. And I'm forgetting one more thing I needed to add. Let's see, 2-minute offense, that is just, we don't know how to do that. The offense is just, I guess, the other thing was, look at Ohio State's offense. I have no idea what they were doing either. They threw the ball, they made yardage. Jeremiah Smith, he had 3 receptions, I think, total in this game for 70 yards, including one 60-yard touchdown pass where he just ran past everybody. And then they didn't throw him the ball for the rest of the game. They insisted on running the ball. And I imagine Ohio State fans are going to go insane with that. We did a good job of shutting down their run. I don't know what they were doing on offense a lot of the time. They have playmakers. They weren't getting them the ball either. So, what a weird game. I guess I have to mention the officiating just because it's just crap. The officiating's crap. We know this. I don't know if you really need to go further into it than just accept that it's crap, and there's not really a correction for that. I'm interested in what you guys think about this game. Again, the phrase moral victory comes to mind, but I know we're all tired of those. But again, nobody thought this would be a win at the beginning of the season. It wasn't a win today, but it does bode well for Nebraska getting to bowl eligibility and getting to 7-5 or maybe even 8-4. We got UCLA up next. Obviously, they're beatable. It's whether or not we can put our shit together long enough to beat them. And that would get us to a bowl game. We'll see what happens. But take it a game at a time. Don't get all freaked out about we're not going to win anything from here on out, unless you're an Iowa fan, and then that's understandable, I guess. But ignore those people. They're just toxic. That's the key phrase of the day, isn't it? These toxic people, get them out of your life. Go sit by a tree or something. You know, if nothing else, the walk will do you good. Get away from your family. You can swear at a tree. They don't care, apparently. All right, that's it for now. Here's to the rest of the season. I mean, it looks interesting. I guess whenever Nebraska plays football, it's always pretty interesting, right? Yeah, absolute cinema. Go Big Red. And the clicker.